Hey, it's Steven here from Marketplace Superheroes, and in this video, with the help of my business partner Robert Ricky, we're going to show you how to find profitable, low competition products that you can sell on Amazon from scratch. All right, Robert, we're here. I'm looking forward to you basically teaching me. You can imagine you're teaching me this process of how we find product ideas on Amazon without software and any of that jazz, because it's a big question. How do we find Marketplace Superheroes style products? So I'm gonna let you take it away. We'll just rock through this.
Yeah, 100%, Stephen. Looking forward to it as well. I'm over here on Amazon.com on the main page. You can obviously do this on .co.uk as well, but for the benefit of this video, we're going to stick on the Amazon.com site. They are 99% exactly the same. There is a little few nuances with different department names, category names, but the navigation is 99% the same. So the first place that we always start is, of course, Amazon. That's where we're going to do our research. And the first place that we start inside Amazon is within the departments or categories that Amazon permits us to sell in. The easiest way is just to go over to this little hamburger menu. Brings down a different number of options here for you. But if you go into the shop by category, there's obviously a number of categories that we discuss at Marketplace Superheroes that just are not suitable. Some of these are very obvious. So for example, what you can see here, Prime Video, we're not selling videos on Prime. We're not selling music or Echoes or Alexas or Fire tablets. We're moving down more into the more generic categories, starting off at clothing and working the whole way down to automotive here. I'm just going to pick any category to start with. Really what you want to have is you want to have a category that is ungated. Now, whenever we talk about ungated, that means that Amazon will permit you to sell in there without having to jump through any hoops. And of course, in many of our other videos, we talk about these categories. If you need to see that, all you got to do is actually just scroll down to the very bottom of Amazon.com. You'll see sale on Amazon. You can click into there, go over to what categories you're permitted to sell in, and that will give you a list. So just come back up again, as I said, back into the hamburger menu, and I'm going to pick home, garden, and tools. Whenever I click into there, it will open up these sub-menus. Now, before we get involved in any sub-menus, Stephen, really what we just want to do is we just want to go to the main menu of home and garden.
Yep.
And this brings us in here. Now, our first task is just to find any product inside this main category, because what we're looking for to start with is the top 100. Now, while we may not find anything in the top 100, because it's more than likely a very saturated, competitive, natured product, it gives us a starting point. And with any journey, we got to have a starting point before we get to the destination. So just coming down in, you can select absolutely anything whatsoever. I'm just going to select kitchen here. I'm going to go into the first category of cookware. All I'm looking to find is a product inside the Amazon catalog. And you'll see that there's many sort of sub-menus here. Just keep digging until we start to get a list that starts to look familiar right in here, okay? So now we can see that we're inside the best sellers area of this sub category. Let's just click in to that first product. And what we're looking to find inside this listing here is the top 100 of this main home and kitchen category. And where we find that is just by scrolling down to where you get more details about the product itself. It's on past the description here, on past some of the suggestions, and it's down inside here, this area where it's called product information. You see things like the package dimension, the weight, the ASIN, model numbers, reviews, and then where we're looking for is this best sellers area. And we can see top 100 in kitchen and dining. Now, sometimes this will change. You feel like you're in the home and garden area. Kitchen and dining is very close, but this gives us a start inside a primary category, as we would talk about, a top level category. All we got to do is just click that. What I like to do whenever I'm researching is actually right click on it and open it in a new tab. Because then what we have is we've almost got like a breadcrumb. We've got a history of where we've been, as well as a journey of where we're going here. And here it has now loaded up for us. And we can see best sellers, kitchen and dining, it's starting at number 1 and going the whole way down to the number of products on the page, generally about 20 or 30 on a page. So what we want to do now is we want to kind of analyze each one of these products and determine whether or not there is any sort of validity, validation of what we can sell. So we talk about, this idea of item specifics that we want to avoid. And really what that all is about is, will Amazon permit us to sell the product without any, safety concerns or any requirements that we would need to sell those products? So whenever we go in, we can go on to the very, very first one. There's nothing in here. This is like a kid's lunchbox for school or packed lunches and things. We can then open this product up. Again, right-clicking, very, very handy, because then once we right-click and we have this listing opened inside another tab, we can always go back to the main list. So again, having that sort of history, that breadcrumb style of things, because the way that we research, which is very, very different to a number of other people, it permits us to kind of move off. We call it segue searching. And very, very quickly, we can get into more deeper research rather than having to go down through each and every single listing. We kind of move off and we start to build up a lot of speed inside our research. So as we come down inside this product, this is something that we would certainly look at. And what we would then do is we'd analyze the market for this product or these styles of products to see whether or not they are too competitive. Once we have identified whether that market is either a goer or a knower, I guess you'd say, so it's either a go or no, we can then move on. So how do we do that? How do we look at the generic market, as we call it, for this product? Well, the first thing we do is we take the generic key term. Okay, so what is the generic key term that a customer or a consumer would type into Amazon's search box in order to find products like this? So it would be a kid's lunchbox or children's lunchbox. That's exactly what this product is at its most basic form. And what we want to do is we want to have another tab open so that we can check those key terms on the Amazon.com marketplace. All we got to do is just go over to the search box at the top and type in that generic key term. Sometimes you can copy it across from the listing, or you can just type it in. So I'm going to go first of all with kids lunchbox.
Yep.
And Amazon is going to bring us back everything that it has for kids lunchbox. Okay. And we look at a number of different things here. The first thing that we look at is over in the top left-hand corner, which is the number of results that Amazon is bringing back for us based on that generic key term. Now, it's saying that there's over 30,000 results for that term. Now, straight away, that is far too many, okay? And people will say, what is far too many? What's the number that I'm looking for? And while there is no magic number, a lot of people would want to have a magic number. We always talk about this idea of being at least under 10,000 gives you an opportunity. Now, really, what we're talking about to find marketplace superheroes products is it's got to be under 1,000. Okay, so people will say, well, why the 10,000 then? Because there's no hard, fast rule that says, well, if it's 1,001, does that rule it out? Well, of course not. We have to have some sort of gray area that we can work in. But the higher that number is, then the other things that we look at have got to impress us more. So I always look for things that are under 1,000, because what that really means is that there's going to be less and less noise in the market for you to compete in. Now, because that is over 30,000, that is an immediate rule out. So we can turn around and say that children's lunchboxes, kids' lunchboxes, they are all a complete and utter no-go from this standpoint.
I think as well, Robert, we could look at even a bento box for kids, and I'd say it'd be interesting to see what the search results would be for that. Because then some people watching might think, well, it's more of a bento box because that's kind of the the other style. But I would imagine, guessing, it's still going to be very competitive.
Yeah, so it's over 6,000. Now, what we have done there is we've also added a bit of a longer tailed keyword, Stephen. So, we got to say the number of people that would be searching for a kid's lunchbox would obviously be a hell of a lot higher than a bento box for kids. It's still a pretty common phrase, and maybe more so nowadays. It's definitely topical. And there may be people searching for that, but again, over 6,000, it wouldn't be immediately ruled out on that number. So we'd have to now look at what we're seeing inside the search results. So not just the search results here in the top left-hand corner, but actually the main search results that we're seeing inside the main area of the Amazon search. So we'd be coming down, and the things that we'd looked at there, this was, I believe, the one that we saw, or certainly something similar. Again, there's different colors, there's some different options. This product here might be something because it's slightly different. We're certainly not saying this wouldn't be overly attractive because of the market, and we're going to see that. But we definitely analyze this. So looking down, the plastic style that we can see isn't really where it wouldn't be anything that would interest us. The market is just simply too competitive. There's far too many people doing exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
Whenever we would look down at the silver one, so you may then be able to start, streaming out from this, but now we're starting to get more and more longer tailed because you're going for like stainless steel bento box for kids. So the search results, the search volume is continually coming down, and therefore we're going after a smaller and smaller market.
It's a perfect example, Robert, of like a product that a lot of other programs would maybe recommend because yes, there is a lot of search volume for these types of products. Yes, there's a lot of people selling it, and people would say, well, that's good now because you can get in and market it and you can do this and that and the other. But of course, it doesn't follow our methodology as well, which is important to mention, which, as a lot of you know by watching the channel, it's all about selling less competitive items and make a small number of sales per day. But as Robert's shown us very quickly here, all these items are like they're selling a lot, which is good, but it's bad because everybody else is going to jump in and do this. And this is the kind of a product that's probably going to end up on a hot 100 list,
Definitely. And I think too, products like this lend themselves to things that we want to avoid, which would be, lots of different color options. I mean, whenever we look down here at the plastic style, even some that are identical, we have, like a blue version, a purple version. We've got a pink version. We now have a yellow and blue version. Then there are different sort of functionalities, if you want to call that, or different flavors where we have, it's insulated. Some of them are not insulated. Some of them are in portions. Some of them have got 4 portions, 5 portions. It's very, very difficult here for a consumer to make a choice. And whenever there's too much choice, consumers get confused. I know that if I was coming in to buy a lunchbox like this for a kid, I would have a lot of confusion. So whenever there's confusion added to the marketplace, the consumer then has to start filtering down and finding out more and more and more about the product. Is it the right one for it? So whenever you do get into products like this, these to me, as you say, Stephen, would be something that people would say is a good thing to sell. I would say that this would be one of the worst things possible to sell.
Yep, absolutely.
And again, the list continues going on down. I'm not just taking the first few there. We can see again as we move on down, we're entering into more choice. We've even got stuff now that's coming into almost like a toy-based sort of lunchbox. And definitely in here, you could also have licensed products, which I'm starting to see here as well. You might have big brands coming in that, are going to sway a consumer. So there's an awful lot of noise inside a market like this. So that would be one that we would immediately rule out. Now, I'm going to leave the Amazon.com site here, just so whenever we get the next search term, we can come up and we can put it into this tab. So here, this product itself is ruled out. However, there's a lot of things inside this listing that we should now go and check out, not about this product, but about products that are related to this product. Now we're starting to see, can we go a level deeper inside our research? Because we can see immediately that this market is not good, okay? But could we go a level deeper? Is there an accessory that goes with this product? Is there a product that's related to this in some way, or that a consumer buys along with it? The first area that we look is inside this area here, frequently bought together, okay? This is probably the weakest area to look because, as you can see in this example, the product that they say is frequently bought together is almost exactly the same. It's an insulated lunch tote bag, which is almost a substitute product, not complementary. Some people may say, well, it's complementary, you could put one inside the other, but it's unusual for that to happen. So in this instance, that's not something that we could segue off. But we have another couple of areas in here in that these are products that are sponsored and related to the item. Now, many times the sponsored items that are related are carbon copies. They are identicals. But sometimes you find products that are sponsored, or you find products that consumers bought or were interested in or moved onto after viewing this product. And we can simply use the two areas of the arrows to move across to see, is there any other products related to this that are not identical? So inside this list here at the very top, I can see one product that's not exactly the same. And this is this product here. It's a meal prep container, okay? It again is a very sort of topical sort of product, but all I do is use in the right click again and open this in a new tab so that I can then go and search this product too. So you can see that the research is starting to expand here at the top, and you can get quite a lot of tabs opened. And that's absolutely fine. It shows that your research is moving wider and deeper as well. We do exactly the same here. We take meal prep containers as our generic key term. We come across to Amazon.com. I left it open earlier with the bento box. Paste that in and then do a search for this generic key term. So we get 7,000 results inside this market. Again, not ruled out straight away. However, as we go down, we start to see, again, a lot of noise. And we're seeing numbers or quantity-based packs. So we got like a 15-pack, 20-pack, 21-pack. So you can tell immediately that this is a very competitive market. People adding one in to try and increase the value. The prices are all over the place. You know, you've got something there at $19.99 for a 20-pack. You've got a $13.99 for a 21-pack. You've got lids are a thing. You've got a 1-compartment, 3-compartment, 32-ounce, 34-ounce. Again, lots of different styles of product here. So therefore, it's a difficult decision yet again for the consumer. They don't really know what they want. And if they do know what they want, they're going to go straight to it. They're not then going to search. Moving on down, we see the same thing over and over and over again. And we would talk about this market, Stephen, as being like cloned and having very little clarity around this product.
Absolutely.
So that one is, again, I'll just not use the first two, but just keep going down. You can see more and more styles, more and more flavors and tastes and colors and everything else.
I think, Robert, we stumbled upon something that's interesting for everybody watching, though, and it actually answers a big question a lot of people have, which is, what if I'm selling the same product as somebody else? And even when you're selling the types of products we sell, not these types. But I think everybody can see here very clearly, even though there are so many of the same product and only slight alterations, and many times literally just the exact same item, and just maybe a different, different headline / title, a different image, was basically the same thing. They're all still selling, and they're selling a lot. So I think, even though we wouldn't do this product, I just wanted to kind of make that point that if sometimes people feel like, there's only ever going to be one product and only one iteration of it on Amazon. And it's just, that's not true, as you can see here.
Yeah, absolutely. And in big markets like this, there's a lot of people selling items and doing well with items. But again, flip that around for people, because whenever you might say that, people might say, well, this is a good market to go into.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to do a lot of work to stand out in this marketplace.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of marketing to stand out. You're going to have to do a lot of cutting through the noise. You're going to do a lot of value add, all these different things, a lot of work. Whereas what we're looking for is a market that we can go into that doesn't require that. It doesn't require us to, to have to fight through all the noise all the time, and then wait on somebody else redoing, coming back over the top of us again.
Yeah.
We want to go into a market that we can stand out and compete for a long time. So again, I'll leave this Amazon.com open for the next generic key term. And don't just shut that down again. It's exactly the same thing where we could segue off this again. We could move off this one. But before we do, let's just try and get all the goodness out of this listing before we can then shut this down. So we've got another page there, and these are all very much exactly the same thing. So that area for us is kind of done. Now, we've got 59 pages inside these sponsored products. We're not going to go through 59. But what you can certainly see is having a quick glance and looking and seeing this is very generic. I always check all the pages whenever I'm researching to see if I can find something different. And the more sort of higher up a product is, or the more know it would be, the better selling. Then whenever the markets are very big, the way this one is, you're going to see a lot of this inside the sponsored items. But do always check them, because sometimes there is a little bit of gold at the end of the rainbow there. And there's one other area that you should check, is back down where we were looking for the top 100. You not only have the top 100 here, but you may also get another set of 100s. So this is the top lunch boxes. Now, we know that lunch boxes are not going to be a great stomping ground for us, but if this was maybe a subcategory, which we'll see in a second, then we can click into that subcategory as well. So this is definitely worth checking out, this area. So we know that we've got the goodness out of this listing. We can shut this down, and we can now move on. And now we're moving deeper into the category as well. We're continually moving deeper. So let's go down. Let's check into the frequently bought together. Again, there's more meal prep containers, and there is a set of digital kitchen scales. Now, that product does have a power issue in terms of it's powered by batteries or solar or plugged up to the wall. This is something that we always avoid. So we're not going to go into an electrical item or an item that needs power. So come back down into the sponsored products, and also the consumers also bought. And we then start to see potentially some different items. So keep scrolling through here. There's a lot of prep containers. I'm expecting to see that because of the size of that market that we were looking at. It's very, very similar to the kids' lunchbox in terms of the size of the market. So we're expecting to see quite a lot of this. And as you go through, it's starting to look very much the same as that kids' lunchbox area, where we're not getting to see anything different. It's just more and more of exactly the same thing. Then check the other area just to see if we can find anything different. Again, if you see the thing that you were looking at previously, like the kids' lunchbox, just ignore that for now. And then finally, again, check into the area where we can find other 100s. And because of where we are at the minute, we're only surface deep, we're seeing bento boxes and lunch boxes. So this one is shut down. And we go back then, once we shut that down, we're back to our main list here inside the top 100. So we want to scroll down. We want to get past some of this area. And you're going to see inside the top 100, you're going to see exactly what we've seen here in these two marketplaces. If we look at, say, a water bottle, that's definitely one of the products that we've seen before on list even, but we know that it's just not going to be a product. You're going to see an absolutely huge amount of results. There's 70,000. But acquaint yourself with these markets as well, because it shows you what not to do, which is almost important as seeing what to do.
Well, what we're doing here as well, everybody that's watching, we're learning the markets, right? And you might think this is, oh, it's some tool could just tell me this, but really it can't. Like, it can't give you the market intelligence that you're getting by looking through, because you already know I'm going to be avoiding bento boxes, lunch boxes, water bottles, all of those different things. I'm avoiding them because by looking at the market now, it's not good. You're not just having some tool tell you, oh yeah, you should be selling water bottles, when really you absolutely should not be. So we're learning markets here, and this is a much better approach. I know from personal experience, when Robert first taught me this stuff, it's changed the game for me, because I was just like everybody else using tools. So let's keep going, Robert. Let's see if we can kind of start to get, as you say, further beyond that first point and maybe into a little more of the longer tail that we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, there's a product here. There's a skillet, okay? So, something you would use on the cooker. And really, once you start to learn the markets and you're starting to go down through, you're going to start to see which ones give you a good segue. Okay, so this is like a miniature skillet, or like an egg skillet, 3.5 inch. And you're going to start to see what I was talking about. So immediately here, we get frequently bought together. You can see that they are different products. Okay, so as you move down through, you start to get much better segues. And if we look inside here, we're getting a lot of skillets. We're getting a lot of the silicone holders. But we will start to see the closer that we moved away from the top 100, you're going to see more and more products that are different. So we get the likes of, this Dutch oven style thing. It's heavy, it's heavy duty. It's slightly different. And it starts to move us off. Then we've got non-stick cooker trays, whereas before we were just seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Here we've got, this is a liner, okay, a Dutch oven liner. So I'm just going to open this up. And again, this is the generic key term here. So I'm just going to copy that. And also we can see, how far are we moving away from the top 100? We can go down into the area that we look at. Look how far we are away now. And that's only in a matter of clicks. We're now deeper into the area, and we're deeper into the category. We're going to start seeing things change here. So back over to my main Amazon.com, and I'm going for my search term. 268 results.
There you go. Much better.
Okay. Now, immediately we're thinking this is good. Okay. It's under my 1,000. So a lot less noise here. Okay. And this was the one, I believe it was this brand. Let me just grab the product here. So this was a 12 pack of 10-inch 4-quart disposable liners. And whenever I did my search for Dutch oven liners, so this was my 12 pack of 10-inch. So this is my product here. Now there is a slightly better selling one. So this is a 12 pack of 12-inch. So slightly larger and holds more. This holds 6 quarts as opposed to 4 quart. Slightly more expensive as you would expect, but a better seller. So we can see that this product at the time of recording is 5,800. The other one was 14,000 in the BSR of kitchen and dining. So if we look at those two products, they're similar items, but we've also got to say that a consumer will have a certain type of oven that this will be utilized for. So therefore, we're never going to talk somebody into a 12-inch version if they have a 10-inch version. So therefore, these are two completely different products, and we got to compare like for like. So we have this product here is a 12-inch, this one is a 12, this one is a 10. There's an interesting one over here as well, which that is a different product. It's like a parchment style paper liner. So different yet again. We might just take that and do a search on that as well. Then we can come down and we say, okay, so here's some more parchments. Here is a 30 pack. Okay, so not selling just as well, but a nicer, higher price tag against the other ones. It's the same brand. And we've got a couple of other, this is a repeat of the other one. So really what we're looking at here, Stephen, is we've got about 4 or 5 maximum. I'm going to say 4 products on the first page that we would be competing against. Okay, now compare that to the lunchbox, right? There's no real flavor here in these products. Okay, this is the only real flavor that we have here is size. Okay, we've got a 12-inch 6-quart or a 10-inch 4-quart. That's it. And that's now this is what we were looking for. We're not seeing blues and pinks and greens. We're not seeing, 2 sections, 3 sections, 8 sections, all of these different things. We're seeing a very generic product and one that there's no noise here. We could very easily stand out in this marketplace.
Absolutely. And that's great. We were able to get here very, very quickly, actually, in the grand scheme of things. So we're not saying this is the best product in the world. We're not saying it's going to change your life forever. But what we are saying is that it's something we would definitely be moving forward to the next stages with, getting pricing and getting things like that. Because what we're doing here, as Robert's showing us in great detail, is we're getting product ideas and we're learning from the market. And what the market is doing is it's telling us these Dutch oven liners, number 1, they sell. Number 2, they've been proven to sell. Number 3, then, that the competition is not that great. And you can even see as well, like with the BSR ranges here on screen. So 14,319, 5808, typically like been less than 20,000 is ideal for us. So they're within range, as Robert said. So, that's a nice product. Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only are they selling, but the market is of a certain size, as it's not absolutely huge. And we can really easily stand out here. If we had this product in stock, we would certainly be on this first page. There's no doubt about that, because there's products here that are not what I've searched for. Okay, here is the likes of the parchment paper is here, and also there's some bags for the ovens, and there's the ovens themselves. So there's immediately products that I can come in here, and with my product, if I was selling this, I would be on this page. And not only do we see this, but this happens regularly whenever you find what I would call this like a hidden gem product, a marketplace superheroes product, is that you find others, because there's actually about 3 products here that we would do. One is that 12 pack of 12-inch 6-quart, but I would also do the 10-inch 4-quart because it sells well enough. The likes of the parchment Dutch oven liner, we could certainly do a search for that, because that's an additional keyword, and people would be typing that in because it's a different type. And I'm expecting to see that result go down. Okay, so then we get another product here off the back of that first one. And now that we're down into this area, whenever we come back to this product again, I'm expecting to find more and more segues that are going to work, because I'm deeper now in my research. So it's like whenever I look at a Dutch oven lid lifter, okay, this is inside the frequently bought together. So if I come back up here, just go into my search, and I just take that out. I do a search for that, 148 results. Okay, so once you start to find products inside the area, you're going to find more and more. And I expect that the sponsored products and the other items are going to be different. Whenever we looked at the likes of the kids' lunchbox here, Stephen, we were seeing pages and pages and pages of just lunchboxes. Now we're seeing things differently. We've got our liners, we've got the ovens themselves, we've got the parchment, we've now got carrying bags, we've got pan liners, we've got scrubbers, we've got containers, we've got things that go along with this product. We've got rounds. We've now got pizza parchment. We've got a lot of different things. We've got stands for the ovens themselves. So we can start to see that research starts to expand here.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point that you've said a number of times in this video, which is really valuable, even for me, to remind me of that as well, which is if you're going to be looking at top 100s, that's where we start. We get our seed product, as we would talk about it. But then the issue then really is that if you start with something that has absolutely tens of thousands of iterations on Amazon, Amazon's only going to give you more of that in the related items, because that's what they are thinking the customer wants to buy. Because at the end of the day, this is shown to us from a from a customer standpoint. In other words, I'm a customer on Amazon and I'm looking to see what other items are related to this one. So then when we start getting into these slightly more niched items, as Robert's shown us how to do, it would make sense then that Amazon's starting to show different products that are related, because a skillet there's lots more opportunities for people to buy different items based upon the skillet. They might be looking for a Dutch oven. They might be looking for the Dutch oven liners, therefore. They might be looking for all these different things. They're clearly interested in cooking. So the algorithm on Amazon is giving people ideas as to what they might want to buy. And for you as the seller then, the producer in this case, it's great because we're able to use the algorithm to our advantage, because it's starting to give us more and more ideas as to what are people actually buying right now. And because we're moving into some slightly more niched markets, it's great because as we've already seen, less search results for the more niche products. So I think the long and short of it you can see here is with Marketplace Superheroes, you're going to be selling more closely niched products. You're going to be selling things that are not your typical items. Like, I mean, even that stand broil, cast iron folding, Dutch oven lid stand, that's a super boring product. And that listing, even looking at it, doesn't look that great, And again, I'm sure Dutch oven lid stands, be interesting to see, Robert, how many search results there are for that. I would say there are not too many.
I wouldn't have thought so. And I think too, whenever Amazon, you're talking about the algorithm, there you go, 231. Some of them not even, lift stands. Some of them they're taco stands.
Yeah.
Whenever the algorithm that we're looking at there, it's like it cannot show us 37 pages of the liners because there isn't 37 pages of liners.
Exactly.
It has to show us something else. There's not 37 pages of parchments. There's not 37 pages of the lid stands. So therefore, it must show us something else related to the product. That's how the algorithm works. Once we start to see that, we know that we are moving towards a good area, and we should keep continuing down this path. There's going to be a lot of hidden gems shown inside this area, Stephen.
Exactly. And it's just a case of sitting down and going through the process like we're talking about, and just enjoying the process of learning what's working in markets, So from this stage, really then what we would do is we would take the items that we'd find, we'd go and find tons of ideas with an approach similar to this that we're utilizing. We would then go and we start looking for more, okay, well, where can we get a supplier for that, et cetera, et cetera. We would start looking at ways we can improve the offer that's already out there and all that kind of stuff. But the purpose of this video was to show you how to find product ideas in your product research without software. And I would say, Robert, we've achieved that goal. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And, it doesn't always happen this quickly, but at times you may spend a wee bit longer. You may spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes trying to find something inside the Amazon research system. But the further you dig, then the further you're going to find items such as this and a hell of a lot more. Remember the size of the Amazon catalog. It is absolutely massive. 500 million products. The better that you can sit down and go through the process time and time again, learn the markets, and then you never have to go back into those markets again because they're embedded. This is when you start to find products that we've found today, Stephen.
Yeah, you might even on your next run, you might go, oh yeah, I remember I found those Dutch oven liners. Let me start there in my next research period, type it into Amazon and start segueing off that at that point. So as you can see, you'll start to create your own list of seed products in niche categories where you're going to find more and more ideas from. So, I think this was great. We'll do more videos in the channel as we always do, but this one is great. We found ideas. I'd like to thank you for coming on today, Robert, and I know you'll be on more videos as we go forward. I just think this was a really simple, cool way to find Amazon product ideas without software.
So I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was quite long, but hey, it's detailed, it's showing you exactly what to do. So what are you waiting for? Go and get it done. And before you do that, I want you to do a couple of things. Number one, please subscribe to the channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please comment and let us know what you thought of this video. What did you learn? Did you learn finally you don't need software to do product research? It really helps us grow the channel when you do stuff like that. So really would appreciate it if you would take 2 minutes to do that. And make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon as well, because then we can let you know when new videos are coming out, so we don't have to keep on emailing and all that kind of jazz. So click the bell icon, subscribe right now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.